What's up? How we doing, guys? We are in the middle of an absolute battle of 30K. So we have a whole bunch of work to do. This market cannot make a decision around 30,000, but you know who can? We can make decisions around 30,000. So let's get to it. Price action's actually pretty damn good. ATR is sitting about 40. Midday, this time of day, bar 46 to have a 40 ATR. I think we can get to it here today. What do you say? Let's do it. So, bar 46, close it up here in 10 seconds. Coming back into the 20 EMA. We've also got a big range here. I'm looking at this effectively as a big range. So bar 46 is not the craziest thing in the world, but I don't like that 20 there. Good morning, guys. How are we? How are we? I like this action. This is not too bad. It's range bound. This is a trading range. ATR is tremendous though. And I think we can get quite a bit of work done here today. So as far as what I've got going on, I have this currently. I have one mini in a Lucid account that I'm sitting long on that last bar. Here, wait. There you can see that. That's it. That's all I have on right now. Let's work on the Apex, though, as kind of a primary focus here, at least to start the day. Tactical, Jonathan, Bob, Jose, Stratted, Tina, Javaz, Born Trader, Corey. How we doing, guys? How are we doing? Good to see you. Well, we might as well keep an eye on this guy, huh? The problem is, we're so damn low, you can hardly see anything over here. So, you know, kind of taking it easy here on this account. This over here is my Lucid direct to funded that I've been running here. Same one. If you remember, I had gone with one direct to funded out of the 5 total, just to see what's up with these. You know, I like the direct to funded, to be honest with you. They're not too bad, but you know, the 20% consistency rule, I will say, is certainly a little bit annoying. But it's more of a slow and steady thing over in the direct to funded Lucids. But back here in Ninja Trader, I've got work to do on the Apex funded. So let's see what we got. Bar 47 here, closing up here, 248 out, coming right back in within 45 points of 30K. Now at this point, we've seen 30,000 so much. I gotta tell you, I don't really care too much about 30K on its own, but the market is certainly forming a range around 30,000. So we'll see if we can get away from that, or even if we maintain a range straddling 30K, I gotta tell you, I'm cool with that because the range currently, we're looking at a range, 150 points wide. Man, there's plenty of trades to be had in there. Sunny Rays, how we doing? All right, big 47 here, closing up 2 minutes, 10 seconds out. Okay, so we got the 20 EMA. Honestly, even though I don't care too much about 30K, I would still put the 20 EMA, which is this yellow line here, beneath 30K in terms of relevance, at least in my head. Okay, so coming into that, worth mentioning. Still long at 941 over in the Lucid funded account. All right, ATR sitting 39.40-ish. So let's pop over here. I might have to take profit here soon. Good for a full ATR at least over here in the Lucid. Again, I'll be copy trading all my Apex. This is a single direct-to-funded Lucid that I'm trading, so I'm just trading one mini over here right now. Here, let me zoom in for you guys. There we go. That's better, huh? All right, now I gotta move my stop up just beneath the wick low of that bar as it closes. And I also gotta watch the close of 48 over here in Apex, which this is bar 48 right now, 4.5 minutes out. And it's a 5-minute chart. There you go, bulls. Well, what I might as well do here is go ahead and set a limit at a full ATR, which is there. Actually, a little better than a full ATR. And come on now, bulls. Put this one to bed. I'm sick of being long in the Lucid. Pull me out. Okay, we got a lot to do. So 322 out from the close of bar 48. I'm watching over in the Apex. See if the bulls can put this little order over here to bed so I can divert my attention back to the big boys. You got 3 minutes. Oh, bulls, you bunch of babies. You know, what's interesting here is we're coming right into that 20 EMA. Now, again, I gotta tell you, I really don't care all that much about a 20 EMA. But, you know, we're showing a little bit of hesitation. I have it on my chart for a reason, right? There's a little bit of relevance here. That's all right. Would I take trades off of it? No. No, I actually spent quite a few, I'd say probably months. It certainly wasn't years. I came to the conclusion much earlier than years. But years ago, I spent quite a few months very extensively testing and tracking data of a whole bunch of moving averages, simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, and different trade styles that I could take that were triggered based on entries on the moving average themselves. And you know what my conclusion was? After a lot of painstaking data analysis and refinement, is that there is not enough edge in moving averages alone to take trades off of them. So I ended up here, trading price action. Wish I would have just done that from the jump. But that's okay. Bulls! They're not working with me, man. So, you know, it's a battle today. I love it. It's a war. A battle. It's a war. 30,000. All right, well, this bar here is going to roll over in 10 seconds. Now, if you look, this is Ninja Trader because these are the Apex accounts. I really would have liked 48 to close a lot cleaner as a bull body. So I guess we'll move on to bar 49 here and see if we can get out of 49. The bulls really, at least in my eyes, have one bar left, this bar, to clean this up for me to get long in the Apex accounts. And yes, I would still be taking profit in the Lucid. Of 15, 14, 15 points out here. There you go. All right, less than 10 points out, about 5 points out-ish. 335 until this bar rolls over. Let's see if the bulls can multitask here. Take me out in the single Lucid direct to funded. And then maybe give me an entry over in the Apex. We may have to swap over pretty quick. You bulls! What is that, about one tick? Goodness. Take one more run at him. Gotta love when that happens, huh? It's alright. Alright, halfway through bar 49. The statistically least probable thing, you know, of course. And by the way, when that happens to you, meaning, you know, it got what, within one tick of my take profit order, that's okay. Never ever take that and say, damn, I should have pulled it early, right? That's what most beginner traders do, and you are giving any edge you have in your data away on a silver platter. Don't do it. I know it's frustrating. I know it's not tremendous. We don't love it. But statistically, it's going to happen to you. No matter where you put your stop loss, no matter where you put your take profit, sometimes it's going to get within one or two ticks, turn around, go the other way. Whether it comes back or not, kind of beside the point. But that is something else. Yeah, what is that? What is that, about half a tick? Quarter tick? Oh, we got a minute 15 left. Bulls, you don't have too much time to fix this up. I need a clean close. Ideally in the 980s would be tremendous. So I need, what, about 15 points here out of the bulls in the next 50 seconds? I don't know. ATR is 36. It can be done. It can certainly be done. But these bulls feel a little insecure to me. All right, 20 seconds here. I don't think I'm getting it on this bar, am I? The setup over in the Apex accounts, I mean. Getting close. 10 seconds. All right, here comes the rollover. And this is Big Bar 50, by the way. Canada says now 6-0 trading Ram. Love it. Love to see it, brother. Hey, even that being the case, you know, we're not, this isn't the tomb right now. Man, we're live on YouTube, big dog, but I will tell you, being 6-0, even that being the case, focus on the longer term data. Forget about being 6-0. You know, it's great. We love it. But focus on the longer term data. That's what's going to pay your bills for the next 50 years. That's what's going to keep you full time. All right, there we go. So cancel those orders out there. Here we go. Back in the Apex. Big Bar 50, what you got? What you got? Now, this range is plenty wide for me to take continuation stuff inside of the range. I mean, we're 150 points wide, big dog. So let's see what we can get here. Let's see if I can get an entry. All right, 3 minutes. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good here on Big Bar 50. Hey, my man, if you haven't yet, hit like here on the live stream. We love it. Helps out tremendously. Hey, or dislike, big dog. Or dislike. That's all right. All right, 30K, 15 points out. There's an eternity left on this bar. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. You might say, man, Nico, we're coming right into 30K. If this closes clean, you're really going to get long right into 30K? Damn right I'm going to get long right into 30K. Do I look like I care about 30K after the amount of battle that's gone on around that number? No, sir. But I got to tell you, it is... it's a war. It's a war around 30,000 here today. Big old range forming around it. Luckily, it's wide, which is tremendous. Yeah, that's right. Man, 30K, let's see 40K. 50K, end of week. All right, minute 40 out. $100K, out of line, dude. Out of line. 100,000 end of week, what's wrong with you? 50K end of week is reasonable. Okay. Oh, baby, minute 15 out. Let's see what we get here out of Big Bar 50. If I get a nice clean close, the boy's getting along. Got a stop limit buy, all wrapped up. Big old bow for these bulls. Oh no, right into 30K? Right into 30K, big dog. Seconds out. Bulls, don't do it. Bulls, don't do it. Oh, you babies. If you can give it up in 10 seconds, you can fix it in 10 seconds. Oh, you Bulls. The last second adjustment. You think that's a coincidence? The Bulls are insecure, man. All right, bar 51. Let's see. Embarrassing showing. That was embarrassing out of the Bulls. All right, 51. Let's see what's up. Okay, so, we look at the day today. There we go. And, you remember when we had 25,000? It's insane to say this, but 25K was not very long ago. We spent, maybe 3 weeks? Kind of small volatility, low volume, just ranging back and forth right around 30K, basically effectively sideways. This isn't so much that. I mean, this range is 150 points wide after you got, 38, 39, 40, and then the pull-in, that bar 44 was wonderful. This is all right. I mean, the ATR is 33. If we can maintain in the 30s, kind of at a minimum, that would be best. That would be best. If we start dipping into the low 20s, especially below 20, we got issues. But if we can maintain the volatility, I mean, I gotta tell you, I was shocked to see an ATR of 40 this time of day. Of course, certainly being helped out by bar 44, and it's falling quickly now down to 33. But as long as we can maintain the ATR, which is average true range, it helps us, understand volatility going on. You're on a 5-minute chart. I think we're good. Maintain the 30s if we could pop back into the 40s, but now I'm getting greedy. So let's see what we got. Kind of hesitating above, or I should say right ahead of 30K. You got that 20 EMA there as well. The chicken and the egg kind of thing. Who cares? There's clearly hesitation here. Now, worst case scenario, what we don't want to see a sideways range here from bar 48 to like 60. You see a sideways range that will destroy volatility and opportunity with it. But if the bears could actually curl this guy, head back down toward the low, we have this huge, like quad bottom. Now, is it really a great stop hunt? You got that wick low of 13 right there. Right there, you see that? Is it really like such a great stop hunt? Well, with the quad bottom, I would expect some hesitation heading into it. So no, not really. I prefer when stop hunts are kind of a single aggressive curl, because then it's the only point that anybody's paying attention to, really. But I will say, if the bears can take out the wick low of 13, and then keyword, which is the low of day, keyword being close, a bar or two beneath that, it might be over for the Bulls, man. It might be over. So let's see if we can get that. That would be best case scenario, because we'd probably get volatility back up into the 40s on an ATR and get some action to the downside, which also takes us away from 30K, which I wouldn't mind. So, by the way, if you have not noticed, big moves out of Apex. First of all, code BIG, go hit it. Tremendous deal right now. Second of all, they offer the party packs now. That's what they're calling them. They rolled them out. They said, officially, these are the Apex party packs. Just kidding, but I call them the party packs because let's fucking go. You can buy 5 at a time now at Apex, which is like, it solves the biggest problem that Apex has, in my opinion, or had now, which is, you guys know how much of a pain, when they let you trade 20 accounts, which is amazing, you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to go buy you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 or more, if you're buying more evals at a time, it takes like, you know, 10 minutes. We don't have 10 minutes. Even if you go quick, it can take like 10 minutes. Yeah, it's like, it takes like an hour, right? You can buy the party pack now. Code BIG, B-I-G, 5 at a time, which is the only way to do it. If you're buying one at a time, you're living in 2025 like a caveman. We buy 5 at a time with code BIG. We don't waste time at transaction pages. All right, Big Bar 52, take us downside. Give me a nice clean bear close. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, 420 out. If we can get a nice clean bear close, I will short that thing, as long as it's within reason. Meaning not too outsized, right? Okay, so, you know, I'm looking at this. This has me thinking sideways range. If you zoom out a tad, you know, we still have, I know you can't see it that well. We still have that down there, big old quad bottom, which is also forming, I don't know, don't overthink it, you know, kind of like this-ish as a big range. But, you know, we're day traders, so we're kind of watching both with a focus on the shorter term single bar sideways range from 47 through here. Again, what we do not want, if we see this thing single bar sideways range through bar like 60, it's gonna be a disaster. ATR will be off a cliff. We don't want that. ATR currently sitting at 34. That stands for average true range. It's the average points of a 5-minute bar here on NQ. All right, so we're looking about, what, 35, 40 points-ish wide for the single bar sideways range. The big range is still about 150 plus, 160 maybe points wide. Probably 160. So we gotta, you know, bears have the quickest route to get us away from this single bar sideways range. Okay, 60 seconds out. Here from the close up of Big Bar 52. Definitely don't want to see an inside close here on a 52. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. How are you guys doing so far today, by the way? How are we doing? Any milestones? Anything to get off your chest? Man, it's okay. We accept both. Jonathan breaking rules. Stop it. Stop it. You naughty guy. Don't do that. Manuel, full green today. 12 fundeds, 4 evals. Good work. Boring traders, show up, do your job. My man. All right, so inside close here out of bar 52. We're now into 53. We got about 4 minutes left here on 53, the current bar. If you're wondering, well, what the fuck are those bar counters doing? What is all this? We're counting bars from the New York session open. Have you ever tried to talk about the same bar on a financial chart in any instrument with somebody who lives on the other side of the world? But, you know, I've been doing this since before that was even a problem. It solves that problem, but you know what else it does? Every day at the end of the trading day, I kind of just take 30 seconds. It doesn't take me long. I look back and I kind of look through all the bars and I'm like, did I do the best job I could today? Oh, shit, I missed something so obvious. Or, oh, wait, you know, I was at lunch at that time. That's all right. Quality of life, you know, comes first. Or it's like, I'd probably traded that a little bit different. Maybe I'll think about that. It's so much easier when you can look and just say, okay, you know, bar 33, interesting. 43, interesting. 46, sure. You know, don't just number your bars. I'm telling you, one of the best things you can do, even if you're not having to talk to them about them to other people. Okay, bar 53, 3 minutes. You know these bulls want to test 30K. You know they do. So, you know what I've noticed with Lucid? In one of my, what is it, a 50K? Yeah, in one of my 50K fundeds over at Lucid, it's a Lucid Pro, I have a payout ready to go for, well, I guess today. They make you wait. I mean, this is kind of normal in the industry, but this is one of those things in prop, and you should understand this because you got to understand why they do this. They could let you request payouts immediately. Have you seen these prop firms' portals, especially the more modernized ones? I mean, they're tremendous, right? They could let you request that shit instantly, and you could have your money in 2 seconds. But they make you wait until the end of the current session to do so. Can anybody predict or tell me why? Why do they do that? Because they know you're a degenerate, big dog. They know you can't handle it. No, it is not for settlement. It's all on their books. For prop firms, this is my belief, but like use your head a little bit. They want you to look back at it and say, yeah, I'm eligible for a payout, but wouldn't it be cool to have a little bit more money when I request that payout later? And then you go back and trade it again. And then 30 seconds later, the shit's blown wide open. So when you're at payout territory, which, you know, they have every right to do that. That's totally fine. But they know you a little too well. They know you too well. When you're past payout territory and you're like, okay, I'm going to request this evening, leave that account alone. They want you to go back. Don't do it. It's your money. Just wait until the session is over, request that payout, get the money in the bank, and go do whatever. Don't fall for it. All right, 53, closing inside the wick high of 50, which I know it's really easy to look at that and say, man, I should really be getting long there. I see why you see that. I wouldn't, if you're like, Nico, what'd you think of that? I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't like tickle you or whatever, but this is a sideways trading range. At least it is right now. If 54 closes up top here, then I have the early trade that I should be putting on. All right, so let's see. Yo, Nico, ever since implementing more discretion in my trading, I struggle with congruency in my strategy. I skip valid setups and take suboptimal ones. Do you have a tip as to how to get over that hump? Thank you. You know what I think is happening? You're backsliding into fixing boredom with more trades. There's a really fine line between implementing more discretion into your strategy and telling yourself that's what you're doing, but actually you're just giving yourself full permission to do more stuff because you're bored. Okay, now, I want to take more trades because I like trading. Okay, I've always been a scalper at heart, but I also came to the conclusion relatively early that it's easier for most traders, quote unquote, to get to profitability if they save scalping for their expert years. At least they're more advanced to expert years. So you focus on day trading, swing trading, intraday. And when I say swing trading, I mean just a longer intraday trade or a day trade, which is a normal intraday trade. Scalping, quick hitters, sometimes negative reward to risk, and you get more opportunities, but the edge on average is a little bit less, but it gets made up for because the sample size is bigger. Scalping also takes the most amount of experience to do well at it consistently. So when you start implementing more discretion, a lot of people, they say, yep, I'm good enough now, I have screen time to implement more discretion. They just start taking a lot of scalps, and when they look back, a lot of people are like, I don't know if that was such a good, 25 trades. And then you end up drowning out the good or missing the good entirely because you're so focused on scalping that you miss a great setup. If it happens sometimes, fine. Don't let it happen very often. So if you find this happening to you, like, hey, I'm adding more discretion and it's fucking up my profitability, pull back a little. Focus on the A stuff. Top of mind always, and then if you want to start taking scalps, trade them very small so that you care less. Because when you care less about the discretionary scalps, especially because you're trading so small, which you should be in the early days of scalping, your A, probably not going to ruin your good quite as quickly, and B, you care less, so you're more focused on finding just the A setups that you're used to taking anyway. The day trades, the intraday swings. Yeah, ATR down to 31 now here. And we got a minute 35 out here from the close of 54. Let's see if the Bulls can take this guy up. Coming right into 30,000, by the way. $60 seconds. Come on, Bulls. You see the struggle? You know that they're insecure that this is a big trading range, like we just talked about, right? You know, it takes some confidence for the bulls to close a clean bull body above the wick high of bar 50, heading right into 30K. We've seen 30K a lot today, but it's still a battle point. It's still S tier. You know, it's just a little bit less relevant the more you see it throughout the day. That first test of the day is typically the one that's going to have the most relevance around it. Chat, I equate not taking trades with not being productive, which I know is backwards, but the feeling still persists subconsciously. Let me tell you guys something. One of the hardest things about being a newer or even intermediate trader, even if you're profitable, it's a little bit backwards. Kind of like everything in life. It's like, well, this is backwards, right? When you have to kind of slow down in the early days because you just don't necessarily have the screen time, experience, discretion, skill in a lot of ways to be able to scalp effectively often. Okay, because again, scalping is the most difficult format, but it's also most people's favorite, which is like, I want you to scalp. I don't want you to just say, you know, only day trade, take one trade a day and just make money. I want you to do all of it. Look, I like trading. I want to enjoy my time here, which means I want to scalp. But you have to get to a certain point where scalping is actually profitable and not just hurting you. Okay, so it's a little bit backwards because as you get more and more experience, you have the freedom to do what you actually want to do and still have it be ROI positive. The problem is in the early days, it's fucking backwards because you have to slow down because you're not good enough. I mean, straight up, I'm not gonna lie, you're just not good enough to scalp and be ROI positive at it yet. You might be someday. You keep at it, you will be. But you're not there yet, which sucks because it's boring as hell to sit and take 3 trades over a 6-hour session, but it's also the hump that's necessary to get over. Just understand that the boredom that comes with that it's necessary, but it's temporary because you're gonna have the training wheels, the reins loosened eventually because you're gonna be good enough to make the higher activity ROI positive. So don't think you're like, man, I'm making money, but I gotta tell you, I don't even know if I want to do this for a living. This is so fucking boring. It's not what it's gonna look like long term, I promise you. You know, there's still gonna be a lot of sitting and waiting. I mean, you see, I'm sitting here waiting right now, but you have more freedom. If you're like, I want to be hyperactive today, I'm gung-ho about trading, I love this shit, you can scalp. And you can scalp more aggressively. Or if you're having more of a chill day, you know, you can do whatever you want. But the reins, they loosen up. Okay, you're not destined for the most boring career of all time. You're going to have the freedom to kind of do what you'd like on any particular day because you're going to get good enough eventually. All right, we got bar 55 here, closing up minute 45 out. Okay, so right now we're in a little bit of a weird situation. We're zoomed in a little bit. This is a 5-minute chart. You know, we have this look, but, you know, you'd be kind of blind if you don't also see that wedge there. Okay, so it's a little bit of a weird situation because we're kind of tightened down a little bit here. And there's 2 looks. This is a very aggressive line. I don't like drawing that, but for the sake of showing you guys, that's what we're looking at. Let's see if the bears just yank back, put that argument to bed, and, you know, right back to a trading range, which is the slightly higher probability event here that the bears end up taking this thing back and turn it into a big trading range. It's not good enough for a trade for me because there's not really a time frame on that. Okay, I mean, we could bounce around, take out the wick high of 54, then come down. The probability isn't good enough for me to just get short right now, but that's what I'm watching. You see that? Bulls popping it back up, closing up 55 inside the body of 54. Let's watch 56. Big ol' range. You see this? Single bar for 20 minutes, 16 minutes. Same back here. You know, I get it. I know, because I used to think this too. When you look at this, it's like, oh, good, I can trade this because it's safe. And volatility, the ATR is only 29, and just buy low, sell high, right? Yeah, I'm not going to say it's not logical. It is logical. The problem is managing your risk in a way that makes the math work. So this right here, I know it doesn't look like it. It looks like the best. This is the toughest environment that the market will present to you as far as having consistent edge. Is it impossible? No. No, it's not. But it's difficult. All right, Bulls trying to take us back up. You know they want to test 30K. You know they do. So let's watch 56 here. We got about 3 minutes out till this bar closes up. Got that wick high of 54 sitting right about 29,995. It's not like this hesitation right ahead of 30K is any kind of coincidence. Clearly, that's what we're all looking at. Okay, so 56. Man, this is, it's a little bit complicated, but here. Again, you've got a few arguments. You've got the argument for a wedge. You've got the argument for a big sideways range, and you've got this single bar range that, you know, I'm going to draw, but then get rid of. Okay. We're also coming right into 30,000. Bar 56 here would be the first bar to close, kind of outside meaningfully this range, and above the wick high of 54, if they can do that. Big if. And then we got 30K to think about. For me, I'm cool with 30K. Even if this closes at like 30K and 1, okay, and 5, whatever. The range on this bar right now, about 41 points. ATR is 32. I'm cool with that. We're a minute 27 out. Let's see how we close up. I don't want to see that bar grow too much more. And we also got to keep an eye out if we wick back and close inside the wick high of 54, which is not low probability because you know those bulls are insecure about this. You know they are, but if they show some cockiness closing above 30K, obviously outside this range, above the wick high of 54, then in 65 seconds from now, I've got a big old stop limit buy. By the way, high of day is not the wick high of 41. High of day is back here, the wick high of bar 7. All right. Let's take a peek, man. What do we get? Okay, 15 seconds. At 10 seconds out, I get my order ready. Insecure bulls. See if they can pop it last second. If they do, I'm going to slap that thing down. Nope, inside close. You see this? Look at that. Right inside the wick high of 54. You think that's a coincidence? That's no coincidence. All right, bulls. 57 is a promising bar. Let's see what they got. Pull that order and watch 57. All right, back in 2 minutes. Don't you go anywhere. All right, welcome back. We've got bar 57 closing up here in a minute 10. And you see the Bears are trying to pull this guy back. The Bulls need some help, man. Let's get this thing above 30K, above the wick high of 56. Close up nice and clean. Stop limit buy goes out. Get filled. Instantly shoot 50 points. Book it. Sounds like a plan, man. Well, let's get it done. 45 seconds. Hesitation right at 30,000. Here comes the rollover. All right, 58. 58. Let's see if we can get it done here on 58. So as far as for me getting long, you know, 55, 56, 57 into 58. Let's assume 58 closes is just the most beautiful bar I've ever seen. This is about the last shot in this sequence for me, because if this guy pulls back, closes like 57 inside the wick high of 57, all of a sudden there's a lot of risk here of this just turning into a range with back-to-back ugly closes like that. At least if 58 closes clean, I can still very much make sense of the context and the setup meshing. Okay, so let's see how 58 closes. We've got a few minutes. Right back to 30K, man. The battle that never ends. Beautiful. Oh, you beautiful bulls. Now get us above the wick high of bar 56. Okay, well that does that, by the way. As we break the wick high of 56, that's enough for me in this lucid direct-to-funded to get long. I'm waiting for the close on my Apex fundeds, okay? Just to be clear. So we're 90 seconds out. That's how I'm sitting over there. That's, again, just one lucid direct-to-funded, a single mini, no big deal. Over here in Apex, I'm trying to take a little more size. So let's see. Range on this bar, we're seeing about 23, 24 points right now. Minute 10 out. Let's see how we can close up here on 58. By the way, so stop over here is right below the wick low 58. Again, in lucid, but that's how I sit. And we got 45 seconds here, focused on the Apex. See if I can get a nice clean close out of bar 58. And if I can, stop limit buy will go out. Again, reminder here. The wick high of 41 is not the high of day. The wick high of 7 is. 20 seconds. Okay, range on this bar, by the way, extremely reasonable. 10 seconds out. Stop limit buy goes out. Copy trader engaged. Place that guy for the rollover. Roll over. See if the bulls want to take it. Give them about 20 to 25 seconds to see if they can get that done. If they want to take it, I want to participate. If they don't want it, I don't want them. At least not over here in the Apex. No fill, no trade. 25 seconds. Gotta pull it. All right, let's watch 59. Or I'm sorry, did I say the wick high of 7? It's the wick high of 1. Is the actual high of day. So let's see here what we can get out of 59. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what I was looking at. Wick high of 1 is the high of day. It's way up there. We got room. Meantime here's how I'm sitting over here. ATR is 28. Alright, so I'll set that guy at 1 ATR while I keep an eye on the Apex here, bar 59. You have a 100-inch TV. Yeah, I've got... The answer is always one more monitor. We know this by now, right? I've got a big curved widescreen. I've got a vertical monitor. I've got a big-ass TV up here. Man, if you're not running a big 4K OLED TV as one of your monitors, are you even a trader? Is my question to you. No, there's a lot of, we actually talked about this recently in one of the RAM labs in the tomb. There's a lot of ways to set up your monitors. There's the old style 6-panel. Like, you just get 6 1080p monitors. You go 1, 2, 3, and then another row up top. You can go with 8. There's a million different ways to set them up. I've done most of them. I don't know. I like the way I have it currently set up. You get used to whatever you set up, to be honest, as long as it's cozy for you. Hit it. All right, 2 minutes out. See if 59 here can book me up in Lucid, and then we're coming into the wick high of bar 41, but I still would like to hit it over in the Apex. All right, we got a minute, 10 seconds out until this bar closes up. Again, this that I'm showing you right now, this is kind of a side trade. My main focus is over on the Apex accounts. So I'd like if this guy could finish up here so I can divert my attention to the big dogs. You gotta do it just like the last trade, take 1,000,000 years to get the last 8 points. All right. 30 seconds out. Oh man, I'm gonna have to thread the needle over here. Okay, I gotta get over here. If that books, I'll let you know. 10 seconds. Stop limit buyout. Copy trader engaged. Put him out for the rollover. Bulls rollover. Take it. Suck that guy up. Place the stop. This is out, by the way. So we're all booked up over here. Come back over here. Doing 25 things at once. We love it. All right, bulls. ATR 27. Let's see what we got. Pop that thing, bulls. Let's go. Let's go. We have got work to do. ATR sitting 27, 28-ish. Beauty. I've got a little mix here, by the way, of minis and micros. 41 total between the two. Copy trading, right? For those of you guys who aren't aware, I'm copy trading. Total is right above my head on your screen there. There you go. This wick high of 41 has got me a little bit, I'd love to see some cockiness out of the bulls. I mean, we got some cockiness out of 59. That was a real mother of a bar. But a little bit more definitely wouldn't hurt here, bulls. Take it away. Beauty. Don't mind that. All right. Barely. Just barely took out the wick high of 41. Bulls seeing if they can crank this guy higher. ATR sitting at 29. EMA, this is a 20 EMA. But for me, it's kind of bottom of the barrel as far as relevance. Should you start with Apex or TakeProfitTrader? Well, you know, I've always said, do whatever you want, but I've always thought TakeProfitTrader doing daily payouts makes the most sense if your goal here is to go part or full-time as a trader, because you need money coming in the bank. Life is really expensive, so get it in quickly. And then when you're like, okay, great, I'm taking payouts relatively consistently or whatever, and it's time to make the numbers just big, go to Apex. They let you trade 20 accounts, scale over there. Horizontally, you can go to, 10, 15, 20 Apex accounts on top of your take profits. Now you got the best of both worlds. From there, scale it to other firms. All right, we got 12 seconds here till the roll over. And I'm gonna have to move my stop there. See if the bulls want to take this guy a little further. ATR 26. There we go. I'm like 4 or 5 points out here. Come on now, bulls. There you go. Push it. Not a big fan of the hesitation there, bulls. Set my order at 1 ATR, and I'm in automatic mode. You don't expect me to take my own profit, do you? Man, we're hanging out. So, 1 ATR is my target here. Let's see if the bulls can make that happen. I'm not really interested in anything before a full ATR here on this trade. But these bulls have been hesitant. Got me within, what, 3 points so far? Yeah, alright, it's alright. See if they can take one more run at it and finish this guy up. Yeah, I gotta hire a profit taker. Someone whose job it is to sit with their fingers on the hot... Because you expect me to do it myself? Come on now. They sit with their fingers on the hotkeys throughout the whole trade while we sit back. Submit your applications, big dog. All right, bulls. Come on now. Man, if you haven't hit like on the stream, I appreciate you doing so. Seven, 8 points out. 61, you son of a gun. Closing up as a little doji. See what 62's got. HR sitting 25. So, you know, you'd think getting my additional 5-10 points here, well, maybe 12 now, shouldn't be that big of a deal, but, you know, now I get it. Look, guys, I know it's very tempting to just say, I'm just going to book it. You know, that saves this trade from being a loser because you're, you know, booking up a certain 13 points. But it's problematic. Every beginner trader does that. You're not special in doing so. Everybody does that. And almost no beginner trader is profitable. In doing so, you are effectively taking a good trade that you had on that had edge, okay? And you're giving it away on a silver platter. When you have a trade on that has edge in it, you need to squeeze out what you intended to squeeze out. Because, you know, you're not cutting your losers early. You're letting those hit your stop loss, right? Basically everybody is. So you got to stop protecting yourself from the outcome of any given trade. If this turns around and stops me at just barely below break even, it's like, okay, that sucks. Move on. The same thing happened yesterday. But we've also had, what, about 1 million, maybe 1.5 million trades here on live that holding was the correct thing to do. The data is clearly in my favor, so it's an emotional decision. What happens on this trade, you really shouldn't care that much. You should care about, okay, am I able to actually do this full time, long term? And this can be the difference, I'm telling you. But if the Bears, it's really gonna piss me off if these Bears take me out. Just kidding. All right, cut it there. They got within 2 points of my take profit, and that's it, big dog. So, all right, we got a couple of winners under our belt here today. One, break even, 2-point loser. So let's see what 62 brings here, and we'll keep it pushing. Okay, now that makes me start wondering if we pull in deep, it's like, okay, I believe you now, right? As far as that being a big, brutal range. Well, let's see, we're not at that point yet. All right, minute 20 out. What do you guys think? Right back to 30K? At this point, I think we probably suck back down into the trading range. Yeah, 25K, man, end of day. Oh, man. Yeah, you heard it here first, big dog. 50K, end of week. What do you say? At this rate, it's reasonable, right? All right, there's a rollover 62 into the open of 63. $100K end of week. You're out of line, dude. No. 50K end of week is reasonable. 100K end of week, you think this is a joke, big dog. All right, 62. Now my question really becomes, do we get a bearish continuation trade back downside? Get down through the 20 EMA, which basically is at 30K exactly. Give me a nice clean bear close, and I'll short that bitch all the way down to what? What do you guys think? About 25K? Yeah, about 25K, realistically, like 1 ATR or 1 R. All right. Poll is out. Hit it. Don't you lie to me. Are you in a trade right now? Hit that poll. I want to see how you guys are sitting. I want to see where the bets are being laid, and then we'll full port the opposite of chat. Inverse chat. Full port. Ooh. We've got some bulls. $63, what are you doing? Calm down, bulls. Most of you guys are sitting flat. From there, the bulls are winning. Okay, so we've got a lot of you betting against this big intraday trading range. I gotta tell you, I'm very okay with either. If we want to go higher, I'll just get long on a bull trend. If we want to fade back lower, this range is 150, 160 points wide. I can just short it. There's plenty of room. So right now I am in trend context mode. Whether it's back into the range or popping out through, I don't care. But I'm in continuation trade mode right now. The range is pretty wide for limit order reversion scalps. If we do end up forming a tighter channel, Then I'll be in limit order reversion mode, but right now I'm in continuation mode, just looking for the next setup. These bulls think they're doing something. They think they're going to take this thing to 31,000 today. And I got to tell you, if they do, I'm here for it. I just don't believe those bulls yet. By the way, guys, best deal right now, Apex. 90% off, single day pass. Don't buy them one at a time, dude. Code BIG, B-I-G. They just rolled out the 5-pack, the party pack. If you're buying accounts one at a time, you're tripping. We buy 5 at a time. We don't have time to go one at a time. You got to get to 20, big man. One at a time takes 45 minutes to buy 20 accounts. Ridiculous! Now they got to roll out the real party pack, the 20 at a time pack. But you can hit 5 at a time now, which is tremendous. Yeah, the deal is huge. 5 intraday is less than $100. It's cheap as all hell right now. Go hit it. Code BIG, B-I-G. I gotta tell you, those of you guys who are bullish, I see why. It just opened blue skies to the upside, but I see a big range, man. I see range, but ranges eventually have to break. So if we want to go bull side, I'm here for it. Man, let's go. Bar 64, 2 minutes out. We got a little single bar sideways range from bar 60 to bar 64. Let's see. Let's see if those bulls want to take us higher. All right, Bears. You want to step in? Let's go downside. Get down through that 20 EMA at 30,005. Get down through 30K. Give me a 2 to 3 continuation setup. Easy. Easy. Now we just got to get them to do it here. Man, one of you guys, I know you guys have some pull around here. One of you guys send a tweet. Or give Trump a call, tell him to drop a tweet, or hand him his iPhone, anything. Anything. Let's get this volatility back up to 66, 26. Not getting the job done, dude. our side. Just bought the party pack at Apex with code BIG. My man. B-I-G. We love it. Now, we would really love if these bears want to tank us downside, again, through the 20 EMA, through 30K. Give me a nice clean bear close on maybe, let's say, bar 66. Let's get 65 closing down here. Roll over into 66. Get us closing right here. Stop limit sell goes out. Tanks 300 points. Book it. That's about all you need, man. And here we go. Back into the single bar side. Back into the single bar sideways trading range. ATR on a 5-minute NQ sitting at 25 points. That's getting kind of low. You know, we can still work with 25. Below 20, our job starts getting meaningfully more difficult. But still sitting at 25 here. Let's see if we can maintain that. All right, so let's do a quick little analysis here. It's very, very simple, right? Okay, we've got a big sideways range mixed with a bit of a wedge. You want to pull this guy down, whatever, don't overthink it. Okay, so now, when you just have a wedge like this, the probabilities are about 55% that you break the flat side, 45% that you break the angled side, whatever kind of wedge it is, bull or bear. Now, I like to round that off to pretty close to 50-50 with the understanding that, you know, you're a little bit higher to the flat side. When you mix it with a big range, like get rid of this, most breakout attempts, about 80% of range breakout attempts will eventually fail. So that being the case, I think the probability is actually a hair higher because they balance out a little bit. But, you know, if you really put my back against the wall, it's like probability is a little higher that we fade back into the range, but not by much. Not by much. It's pretty damn close to 50-50 here, especially when you mix it with this little guy. Okay, so there's going to be some accounts blown here. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. See what either side's got. All right, there's the open of bar 66. Just past 250K evals here in chat. Good work. Good work. Tremendous. All right, 66, making a press up into that wick high of 61. Again, hey, single bar sideways range. A lot of accounts are about to be blown. Chill out a little bit, right? Unless, you know, you're scalping at a high level, just hang out. Hang out. This thing, you know, these never last all that long. I say that, now watch it. Watch it single bar sideways range into the close. Now, you know, by the way, listen carefully to what I'm going to say if you plan on actually doing this. A logical trade idea currently is to short this. Listen carefully. Risk the wick high of 61, 1 point above the wick high of 61. It's a very low probability trade. You will lose most of these, but reward to risk is huge because you're betting against an attempt at a breakout. You're betting on the range. Now, you gotta understand that when I say most breakout attempts will fail, that doesn't mean not cracking the wick high of 61, for example. But it's a reasonable bet to take as long as you understand most of them are going to lose. Most of those attempts are going to lose, but reward to risk makes up for it because it's huge. In prop accounts, I don't think it makes a ton of sense because, you know, it's a little bit too extreme on the data, right? But a logical thing to do nonetheless, just an idea. But you are an adult, big dog. You do whatever you want. So, you know, ATR, the average range here of a 5-minute bar here on NQ, NASDAQ Futures, is currently 25. That's being very much so propped up by bar 59. 60 maybe too. Well, more like bar 59. 62. If we hang out in this sideways range for much longer, that ATR that's currently 25 is going to tank down into the high teens, which is not great. All right, there's 66 closing up into the open of 67. Yeah, it's tight. It's tight. This single bar sideways range, you're looking at about 20 points, maybe 25 points. It's real tight. ATR down to 23. Man, look at these wicks. You're killing me, guys. Bulls and bears. This is insane. A little single bar sideways action. ATR somehow back up to 25 from 23. We'll see if bar 67 here can make a move. All right, we got about 2 minutes, 10 seconds out. Again, right now, you know, today is just, the story is the battle of 30K. But the price action story right now, again, I'll zoom out so you can actually see what the hell's going on. Again, it's that mixed with this. You know, so for me, it's like, it's a little early to just be taking big swings to the bull side. More often than not, if you saw this look 100 times, a little more often than not, you're going to fade back into the range. But, you know, it's just not quite enough information to be taking a logical, regular, tight day trade. You know, until 67, maybe 68 can make a move. Okay, 40 seconds here till bar 67 rolls over into a new bar, 68. See if those bulls can take out that wick high of 61. I mean, look at this. Look at all these wicks lining up. Insane. Here's the rollover. This right here, I gotta tell you, is probably the craziest little range I think we've seen in the last like week of trading, at least. This year from 61 through 68 right now, this is crazy. Somehow ATR is still holding on to 24. We'll see if the bulls can crack the wick high of 61. They're having trouble. All right, they will. They'll crack 61. Now let's see if they can sustain that. Next stop for the bulls would be 30,100. And then after that, you got high a day, 30,192-ish. Bears are going to try to pull this back into the range, at least for a second. If the Bulls win, you know the Bears are going to have their few seconds here trying to pull it on back. All right, be careful now. Be careful. That's brutal. Right there, that is brutal. What did I say about 15 minutes ago? There's going to be a lot of accounts blown in here. Since I said that, I can't even imagine how many accounts have been blown. You know these single bar sideways ranges are brutal. They're not going to treat you well. Especially more of someone who's a bit newer. It's not going to treat you well, man. Bears pulling us right back into the range. All right, guys. Hey, take it easy in this single bar sideways range. Reminder, Apex just launched the party pack. We buy 5 at a time around here. We don't have time to buy 1 at a time. Okay, this is not, April 2026. We live in the 21st century, big dog, okay? We get 5 at a time. 90% off, single day pass at Apex, code BIG, B-I-G. I will see you guys tomorrow for probably a continued battle of 30K. All right, guys, have a good one.